darlings, how are you all doing today? Welcome back to Life as RuDi, and if you have not subscribed, please subscribe right now. Subscribing is free. Subscribe so you become a member of this family, and let's talk about this. Are you ready? Get some juice, coffee, tea, whatever you have. If you're standing, just make sure you're seated down, and let's get this conversation going. This morning I was privileged to be in a panel whereby we were talking about gender-based violence, which is becoming so common and so norm. Like if someone hits you, you're like, I'm not gonna walk out because I want to secure my marriage. No, this is the time to talk about this. This is a time to, be vocal. At the end of the panel, they told us, go out there, be vocal, let's keep this conversation going. And I decided to do this video because we have to keep this conversation going. This conversation must get to the roots. This conversation must get even to the old women in the village. We must push this conversation and make everyone know that no one deserves to go through that. No one deserves to be beaten. No one deserves to be cut their hands. No one deserves to be killed because of a marriage or because of a relationship, okay? Are you ready? So I was so happy to be in that panel. To start with, it has really opened my mind in a big way, and I really thank God that I was able to be there. It has actually given me a different courage, and I just hope that every woman watching me today, or man, actually some men go through this, but this is just like 10%. Most of women go through this day in, day out. Majority of people that die in gender-based violence are women, because men tend to overpower us. I mean, they tend to take knives and stamp us, and this is the time we stand and talk about ourselves, talk about what, just know your rights. Most people don't walk out because of society, and this has really caused a lot of deaths. People don't walk out because they wedded in church. People don't walk out because, you're going to embarrass your parents. People don't walk out because what are you going to tell your siblings? What are you going to tell the society? But I am here today to tell you that if that marriage is not working, if that marriage is giving you trauma, and by the I want to really say thank you so much to Edgar Obare. Edgar Obare, you guy, man, whatever you're doing is amazing. Edgar Obare has this big platform called BNNKE, and it really, it has really enlightened most of us, because he talks about GBV mostly, and if you go there and you have a story, Edgar is gonna help you, get somewhere. So I really want to say thank you so much, Edgar Obare. I also want to say thank you so much to Lynn Ngugi. She has been going to Mashinani, the Tales of Wanjiku, and you guys, I get traumatized watching Lynn Ngugi's episodes. Recently she did a video whereby this young girl, I think she was 25, she was burnt all her body because of a relationship, because of a man actually. And another one lost her eye, another one lost 2 arms and a child in a relationship, in a marriage. And I also saw another one that was burnt by the husband, all around her waist. And this is really traumatizing. So the question here is, when do you leave? At what time do you know that this is the time now to leave? Most women don't leave because they kind of feel like, I don't want to bring up my child in in a fatherless home. I cannot afford rent, I cannot afford school fees for my child. This applies now to women that don't work, and that is why I'll be doing a series and encourage women to get out there and start working. It doesn't matter what you're doing, but get out there and start working. Most women are dying in these marriages because they don't have work. We cannot tolerate this no more. We cannot watch us burying our sisters, burying our neighbors, burying our mothers because of this violence. It is about the time we start and say no. Most of us, or maybe even most of us, or maybe all of us, have seen our mothers, our aunties, our neighbors. You've seen someone going through this trauma. You've seen someone going through gender-based violence, and it has just become a norm. I've seen these episodes whereby a girl goes back to their parents, wanamwambia mimi ile boma sirudi tena, but your parents tells you you have to go back. You have to go back. This is not the time to force your child to go back to abusive relationship. Please, please, please don't force your child to go back to abusive relationship. You're entertaining death. I mean, no matter how much umekasirika, you should not lay your hands on me, right? You should not smash my phone. You should not abuse me in any way. And then there are so many types of abuse that I just learned from the panel. There are physical abuse, there are psychological, that is emotional abuse, there are sexual abuse. There are so many, but mostly that I know are physical, emotional, and physical and psychological, which are really traumatizing. And it is so hard for a woman to come out and say, unajua nini, mimi kwa marriage yangu mimi nachapa, mimi natreatiwa vibaya. Most women keep it quiet until the last minute, and it is about time now to know when to leave. Don't wait until you go back to your parents, or you go back to your parents in a coffin. No. You'd rather walk out of that marriage while you're still alive, while you still have your hands, while you still have your eyes, while you're still alive. Walk out. Walk out. Usivumilie no more. Like, there are these signs of abusive men. When someone starts telling you, ndakuchapa wewe, na ndakugonga wewe urudi laini, ntarudi laini hadi ukinichapa. We are grown-ups. Can we have a conversation? Can we communicate? Anyone that tells you watakuchapa, nitakuua, nitakufukuza, trust you me, they will one day do that. Trust you me. Those are very clear red flags. Don't wait until unachapwa. If that person is not going to rectify that, but kukuambia kila saa ndakuchapa, then just know that you're in a toxic environment. That toxic environment can traumatize you, and that trauma can go a long way, because that's why you see most women say, I don't trust any man, there are no good men out there, because their first encounter was bad, and I totally understand them. Another thing is that it does traumatize our children. It does traumatize our children in a very bad way. Trust you me, when you're crying as a mother and that child is watching you, they can feel it, they can understand. Totally they can understand. And that trauma will grow with your child, and they will eventually become traumatized, abusive as well, or vichwa ngumu. Unasema mtoto wangu ni kichwa ngumu, mtoto wangu ni kichwa ngumu. Kichwa ngumu na wewe ndio ulikose kichwa ngumu wake. You know what I mean? So this really affects our children. I remember on this topic, I remember one time my daughter was really young, and I never actually knew that until she told me recently, and she saw me, you know, in that state of violence, because and then recently she told me, you know, Mom, every time I went to school I was really worried about you. I thought you'll be beaten when I'm away. Whenever you went to sleep and lock yourself in that bedroom, I thought you'll be beaten. And I broke down because I never knew that my daughter was watching that. Like, she knew that, because whenever I went through that state, I never wanted my children to see, you know what I mean? Like, I was always like closed. I closed myself in a bedroom, and I cried there, and I went through that trauma alone, but I never knew that it affected my child that much. So let's know when to leave. Let's know what time to leave. Let's not traumatize our children. Let's not get traumatized. I mean, if the relationship is not working, it's not working. And especially if you want to start beating me, smashing my phone, you know, every now and then there's a commotion, then that is a very toxic environment, and you cannot grow, you cannot think clearly when you're in that environment. You have to come out of that environment for you to think. You have to come out from that environment for you to grow, right? And I noticed something with myself, and this is me now. Like when I'm in a very negative environment, I don't think clearly. I cry, I just cry. But once I'm out of that environment, immediately if I walk out there, I'll be a different person. I'll just start laughing and I'll be happy. Once I go back to the space, I become again timid, I become stupid, I become this person that does not think, this person that cannot fight her rights, this person that cannot say no. I just start crying, and it really takes a toll on me. I really hate a violent environment because of how I grew up. I really don't like toxic environment. That is me. You give me peace, I'm gonna be fine. Women, don't keep quiet, be vocal, and let's keep this conversation going. We are saying hashtag no GBV. And before I wind up, I'm going to leave a toll-free number here. I'm going to write it for you there, that you can call when you're going through a lot. There's this wonderful lady called Jory Migwi. If you want, you can Google her and you can actually get her number. She does help women that are sexually and physically abused. She actually has a safe place that she can take you and live there. Please be vocal. Don't wait until when you're dead. Let's say no to gender-based violence, and you want to refuse, and we are saying no, 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 no. We cannot continue watching our people die because of gender-based violence. We continue to push, and see if we are going to get justice for those who have left us already. And for those who have already left through this gender-based violence, I mean, we are so sorry, and you just say, may their souls rest in peace. And let's be vocal. Let's keep this conversation going. Thank you so much, you guys, for watching. And as always, I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.